we're now saying that we are correcting, doing what we should have done years ago. Years ago, we should have focused more of our attention on the foundational level of education and ensure that there's great foundation in our children as they advance to higher levels of education, have had a strong foundation. Now that is why grade R, the reception year before grade 1, will now be compulsory. This will enhance our focus on early childhood development, which we should have done years ago. It will ensure now, if you talk about transformation, yes, we are a bit late, maybe 20 years late, but nonetheless, we have arrived. We should have started right from the beginning with focusing on early childhood development. But this is where we are. Because it will ensure young children are better prepared for formal schooling. We found that those children who start off properly structured ECD centers are better prepared for schooling. This law now requires schools to apply the same standards for the admission of learners. The bill contains provisions for improving school admission policies, particularly with respect to vulnerable learners like the children of undocumented migrants. The legislation promotes greater accountability with respect to the role of parents and caregivers in ensuring children attend school consistently. I have often said that parents need to take up the responsibility of ensuring that their children do attend school. But teachers must also take up that responsibility. Children are not present at school. They need to ask themselves why those children are not at school and follow up. Homeschooling, which has become something that many parents are opting for, will now be subject to more effective regulation and oversight. And it is no longer you just do it for yourself. It is now going to be regulated because it is our responsibility as the state to make sure that every child in South Africa is educated. And we say this on a compulsory basis. To promote inclusivity, the new law guides schools on the development of codes of conduct that take into account respect for religious as well as cultural beliefs. This is important for fostering a more tolerant learning environment and a more tolerant society. As part of advancing diversity and inclusion, the new law advances the issue of a language policy. Schools have to consider the broader linguistic needs of the communities in which they are situated. The law seeks to align the role of the school governing body in determining language and admission policies with the responsibility of the education authority, provincial education department, to ensure the constitutional right to basic education. That is the authority of a state body to make sure that the right to education is enforced so that it is not it must be according to the law. So it is important on an area as important as education that there should be state involvement, as we say there should be parent involvement as well. So the two must be seen as complementary. And of course, the role of parents is so key and important, but so is the role of the state that has an overarching responsibility on what happens in education in our country. The law